Located strategically on the western coast of India in the Gulf of Kutch, the Kandla port is the biggest major port of India. Developed as an alternative to the Karachi port post-independence, the Kandla port has played an important role not only in the development of India and Gujarat, but also the vast arid region of Kutch that is today a thriving hub for industries. One of the most economical ports of India, this multi-cargo port is also the gateway to major regions of the country. The port is also home to the Kandla Special Economic Zone, India's first special economic zone encompassing 1,000 acres with 142 functional units within 9 kilometers of the port. However, growing competition from private ports in the vicinity was gradually threatening its business. The Kandla port has a draft of only 12.5 meters, limiting its capability to handle large Cape-size vessels. The freight of Cape-size vessel was almost $9 per metric ton cheaper than a Supermax vessel, a disadvantage that was fast eroding Kandla port's position as a preferred port. Not the one to be cowed down by challenges, the authorities and users of the Kandla port came up with a breakthrough solution to handle Cape-size vessels at anchorage in deep water using floating cranes and barges based on the Chinese experience. Kandla port created history on April 30, 2013 with the arrival of its first Cape-size vessel, Coppersmith, carrying 137,537 metric tons of coal from South Africa with arrival draft of 17.5 meters, which was completely unloaded within 10 days. It was discharged at high sea using 24 barges and 2 floating, pollution-free and leak-proof cranes. The barges carrying the coal were then emptied on shore by 7 Liber bulk cargo handling machines. Within a short span, the port has handled more than 1.2 million metric tons of bulk cargo through 8 Cape-size vessels and 2 Panamax vessels. Even with the additional handling cost, there is still a saving of $7 to $8 per metric ton compared to the freight of a Supermax, making this initiative a viable business proposition, resulting in reduction of freight, saving of foreign exchange and lowering of costs. Additionally, the Kandla port has operationalized 4 mobile harbour cranes through open competition and revenue sharing basis, hence augmenting its cargo handling capacity and evacuation speed. These 2 projects together have added 10 million metric tons of handling capacity at the port. Buoyed by the success of its maiden initiative, the Kandla port has already planned to increase its handling capacity by adding more floating cranes and harbour mobile cranes and constructing additional storage areas and godowns with a capacity to handle additional 10 million metric tons cargo during the next year. Moreover, it has also partnered to start an IMU campus, VTMS and Kutch Railway Company. Taking a giant leap forward, the Kandla port has already initiated the development of a satellite port at Tuna Tekra with a capacity of 14 million metric tons per annum, which will be commissioned in a record-breaking time of just 2 years in December 2014. It has also floated global tender for a mega container terminal with capacity of 66 million metric tons per annum at the Tuna port. The various modernization initiatives in the past 5 years have enabled the Kandla port to achieve notable milestones. The cargo handled at the port has increased by almost 30 million metric tons from 65 million metric tons to 95 million metric tons. The total cargo handling capacity has been augmented by 37 million metric tons from 80 million metric tons to 117 million metric tons and is expected to be 3 times this capacity by the year 2020. The number of vessels handled at the port has increased by 217 from 2,517 to 2,734. The port has also won several accolades, some of which include the Major Port of the Year award at prestigious Maritime and Logistic Awards continuously since 2010. Samudra Manthan Award for the Best Major Port in 2009 and 2011. Best Port of the World Award from the General Secretary, International Maritime Organization for the Welfare of the Seafarers in 2012. The biggest major port of India is all set to chart a new and innovative chapter of converting the draft limitations into achievements in its glorious history. Kandla Port Trust, converting adversities into opportunities.